Hello, everyone. We're back with another episode of The Breakdown. I'm Austin Johnson,
And I'm Drew Covington.
and today we're going to talk about multiple sports today. We had the World Cup final yesterday, and that was a great tournament. It was almost a month of just good hoops, ethical hoops, great sports to watch. And now training camp for the NFL starts really this week at the end. So really there's no break that we usually have in the summer of just baseball or just it being boring. So I'm happy that the World Cup was not only in America, but we had it during the summer. That was actually a great transition period, and now we back into real football. So we're gonna talk about, yeah, you heard me, real football. None of that flopping. But I love soccer. Shout out. No, I'm saying. Shout out to my soccer fans though. The World Cup was definitely a great experience. Wish I could go to a game for sure.
Yes.
I'm still mad I didn't have it in Chicago. Some BS. But we'll also talk about the division winners, give our predictions this coming year in the NFL. And then we never talked about the Summer League, and it just ended yesterday. They had the championship, the Warriors won, so we're gonna talk about that as well. But Drew, what are your thoughts on the World Cup, man?
Great stuff. It was really cool. I think, unfortunately, I was working while the World Cup happened yesterday. But luckily, since I work at a news company and we're like required to report on stuff, our entire coverage was the World Cup. So I got to just watch it at work while like cutting film and cutting some pictures. But it was great. You know, the good guys won. For me, it's been a hard time. As a sports fan, outside of Arsenal, we won the Prem, but every team that I root for, like the Spurs, whatever, they fail me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, they don't do what I want them to do. So I'm really happy that Spain went out there and got the job done. I think we should really put into perspective how good the Spain team is. Obviously, they won the Euros just 2 years ago, but also they had, I think, what was it, 6 or 7 clean sheets this entire World Cup. That is a
They only
record.
let up one goal the
Yeah,
whole
that is a
tournament.
record. That is a record. This is a historically great defense, and they made every team, regardless of how good they were, whether it was France with the best attack that we've seen in a World Cup stage in a minute, whether it was Argentina with the GOAT on their team or whatever, whether it was Portugal with the second greatest player on their team, they made all of them look extremely pedestrian. That is a historically great um, it's a historically great defense. I want to say shout out to Ferran Torres. He be getting a lot of slander from Barca fans. Can't lie to you, a lot of slander from Barca fans, but he came through. He and that's not an easy goal to make, but like he hit that shit and it went in, and like it's exactly what this team needed. Um, a lot of people are gonna say Lamine did nothing. It's not true. Yes, I will say for a player with Lamine's expectations, did he underwhelm? Yeah. I do think that we have to realize that A, first World Cup, B, he is still just 19, and C, he is injured. With all those things, he was still one of the most impactful players on the Spain team. He was a big part as to why this offense was like consistently getting chances against Argentina because of just the amount of attention he attracts. Um, so yeah, incredible performance by Spain. They're a relatively young team. Guys like Nico Williams and Lamine are still incredibly young. They still have a lot of growing to do, and they won now. So imagine when Lamine really cements himself as one of the best, if not the best player in the sport. Imagine what this team will look like in 4 years when he's 23, or even when in 8 years when he's 27 in his prime. You know, so that's a really scary sight. Now on to Argentina. Very happy this team lost. Not I'm not even like the one of these people like, oh yeah, it's great for Argentina to win. I think that stuff is like BS. But they did not come to play. They didn't come to play yesterday. They didn't come to play. Don't get me wrong, Spain's defense is incredible. It is suffocating. It is hard to break through. However, their first shot in general, not even shot on goal, shot was in the 117th minute. That is a team that is not trying to win the game through actually playing the game. They're trying to win the game through antics, in my opinion. Fernandez, I'm very happy that you got that red, big bro. I can't lie, you deserved it. You've been
Me
beating
too.
this entire tournament, and I'm very happy that it bit you guys in the ass when it came for you to actually show for your team. A lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, Messi did nothing." Messi is 39, playing against a generationally great defense. I don't expect him to do a lot, and also he should not be what this team hangs his hat on, especially considering that he's 39. You know what I'm saying? That's like Braun, be our best player in 2026. He's
I
42.
mean, he had to do it. He had to do it a couple games,
You
and
know, a couple
they were doing
games.
the same thing, but it worked. Like he had the two assists against
Yeah.
England, those two goals that they had. Um, I agree with you with many of the things that you said. I do agree that Lamin's performance, obviously, if you watch the game, it's more than just goals and assists. So I'm not saying I take that into account for sure. I wanted to, of course, see a little bit more just for like
Of course.
the star power purposes, entertainment purposes. But Spain controlled a lot of the games that they played. But you make a very good point. Going through Portugal, going through Portugal with Ronaldo, and then going through France. When at the time people thought they were unstoppable,
Yeah.
us included, and also beating Argentina. Like they had always found a way at the end of these games to find a way to win. So definitely hats off to them. And to only let up one goal in I think 8 games, 8 or 9 games, definitely ridiculous.
Hmm.
So all props to them. And you make a very good point. If Lamine only scored one goal the whole tournament, excuse me, and Nico Williams was hurt pretty much the majority of the tournament and coming off the bench, that's actually very scary for the future. So I'm excited to see what Spain looks like in a couple years.
Yep.
It'll be very fun, and now I'll be more tapped in, of course, to what they're doing in their club seasons. But yeah, Argentina, I'm happy they lost. Very racist country. If I would only have been happy if they won, if Messi, like, let's say he
Yeah.
scored 2 goals and it's like he just rides off into the sunset, I've been like, cool. He's the GOAT for a reason. You gotta let that slide. But I'm happy about the Enzo red card. He was wild and he was doing too much. Definitely. And also, to not have any shots on goal in almost 100 minutes of time,
Yeah.
ridiculous. But again, it shows how good Spain's defense is, and just how Argentina just really didn't come to play. And so I'm now wondering, Messi is definitely not playing in another World Cup. He's not about to do the Tom Brady. This is his Tom Brady arc at the end on the Bucks.
Yeah.
Like he can't. I
He
don't
still
think he can
got
do
it,
it again.
but yeah.
He still got it, but at 43, where he would be in the next one,
Yeah.
that would be ridiculous. So I just don't think that's gonna happen. And to go from winning a final and then getting to the final again 2 years in a row, that's a good way to end your career. It's
Hmm.
just like the sad part is though, he had the goal record. I had the goal record at the start of the World Cup, and then by the end of it, even though he made it to the final, it is not his anymore. And there's no way in hell that he is going to catch up anymore.
Yeah.
Mbappe is about to. Mbappe could get that goal record at 30. I'm
He
not gonna
probably
lie.
could. He probably could. I
Because
will
even
say.
if
Oh, sorry, you got it.
let's say he doesn't score nine, because he had 21, 22, right?
Hmm.
Let's say he doesn't score 8 goals in the next World Cup. He's still probably going to play in the one after that.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least in
It's
some capacity. He might not, I'm assuming he's not going to be the main guy. Hopefully Elise could hit your shots in the future and like become like the main guy eventually and he kind of passes the torch because Dembele is 30 or 29 right now too. So
yep.
I'm assuming the next guy would be him. But there's no way, there's nobody catching up. Well, maybe Lamine, but you have to be young enough and good at such a young age, and then also score at that high of a clip to even catch that record. I don't see that being broken for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I think Lamine can maybe like break the assist record, but in terms of like scoring, I don't think that's out of. I think Mbappe's gonna hold that title for a very long time. I think he's a fantastic. He's gonna go down as the greatest World Cup player of all time. So shout out to bro. I think one two things I want to talk about as well with the World Cup. A, I hated the halftime show. I thought it was just like we're just throwing everything at the wall, man. And and it's so interesting because like this is obviously a very American thing to do, but like again, like Madonna, BTS, Robbie Williams, Justin Bieber, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
I
I don't
did,
know. I don't know.
it was mid. Like I didn't care for the Madonna song. That was
Yeah,
that was kind of that was weak. Definitely didn't care about the Justin Bieber song. And like, I'm not even a Justin Bieber hater. Like, he is he something somebody I just turn on in my free time? No, but we all know like he has hits,
yeah.
and I get it. It's the World Cup. You want to unite and bring the world together. But that song was not good, bro. That song that he played, he said hallelujah for half the song.
Yeah,
I'm
bro.
not here for that.
Um,
BTS, I get it. They're a worldwide sensation,
yeah,
and it is a catchy song. So like, I'm not it's not my cup of tea, but respect. Like
yeah,
I'll give it to him. I will say the Shakira song and Burna Boy, I like that.
yeah.
That's that part. So like there was a positive there. However, I definitely didn't like the Muppets. They had the Muppets playing the instruments and the drums and stuff like that.
You know what
That
I'm
just made me
saying?
mad. Why the
Yeah.
hell are the Muppets on the like? Come on, bro.
Because they
I don't.
represent unity, unity. You know what I'm saying?
We
Um,
got puppets playing instruments in the World Cup, bro. Let's get
yeah.
serious, man.
I thought that also. I don't think it should have been hosted at MetLife. Straight up, I don't think there are a lot of better American stadiums, more premier American stadiums. Mercedes Benz, and I'm not even saying that because I'm in Atlanta. I'm saying that literally because it is one of the premier stadiums there. Mercedes Benz, fucking SoFi Stadium. There are so many other premier stadiums in the United States, and MetLife, I really just feel like it's just low key an underwhelming environment. Um, I would have done again just cooler. AT&T Stadium. I don't like truly like. There are so many again. And also there have obviously been complaints about MetLife and like just by like football players specifically. But yeah, bro. But outside of that, W World Cup, it had me, screaming in the CNN offices. I was like, wait, this is crazy. X, Y, and Z. Unfortunately, Trump should have got off that fucking stage. But
Oh yeah, for
yeah,
sure. I hate
yeah,
that guy. I don't like him, and I think it's a mix of both. Two things. One, he is definitely a narcissist.
yeah,
So you have to think he possibly just wanted to be in the spotlight. I'm glad Spain also
yeah, yeah.
edited him out of the flick when they posted on their page. Great work by their media team. Um, but also, I genuinely think he's just old as hell and like senile, and they didn't know like to get the hell out the way. I
It's
really
funny.
do think that.
But overall, I thought it was a great World Cup. I think them expanding it to more teams was excellent. I think the like literally the idea of like in like the early rounds having multiple games a day and being able to like literally switch on competitive international soccer from hour to hour is so cool. I hope they. I don't. That's not me saying expand it more. This is not college football. It's another college football playoff. I'm cool with this. I swear to you. I swear to you. But I think the way they expanded it this year should be the model going forward. I thought the third place game was cool. Again, Bukayo Saka, my winger. You know what I'm saying? Ballon d'Or candidate 2 years ago. Never forget. You know what I'm saying? A hat trick against France.
In the third
Does
place
Messi
game.
have a hat trick against France? Don't care. Does Messi have a hat trick against France? Let's have real
No,
conversations.
no, but hey, yeah, that was just the ultimate stat pad. They did not care. Neither of them really cared. They were just trying to get shots up, bro. Because when have we ever seen France down 4-0 in a game like that actually meant something? Well, that game against Spain a couple years ago where they lost like 5-1.
You just
That's
answered
the
your own
exception.
question.
That's the exception. That's the exception. However, They definitely like, and they had Jude on the bench, bro. If Dembele didn't play the whole game, they were just like, all right, now we're losing too much. Now
Yeah,
let's go and try and win. And Elise, I'm a big fan. He had the assist record, and he had a really good World Cup. He had at least two goals that were like, if you look at like his tape from his club season with Bayern Munich, he's hit way harder shots than the ones that he completely missed the goal. It's like, man,
yeah,
that game could have like, because it was 6-4. There were 10 goals in that game. He hits one of those shots. You don't know how the game turns. That game could have gone to extras with 10 goals, bro. Like
yeah.
that could have like it was already cinema. Like it was great hoops. Like my sister had her grad party on Saturday. So we had
Mhm.
like 30, 40 people in the crib. They was all tuned into that. Imagine if we got extra time or somehow that went to pens. Elise,
Imagine if Bukayo Saka scored 5 goals instead of 3. Real conversations would have to be had. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The star
where
boy.
do you like this is a genuine question. Where do you rank Saka? Like, is he in the top 20 players in the world?
When healthy, easily. When
Top
healthy,
10.
easily. Top 10. Probably not. Probably not. I think I could name 10 players better. But top 20? Yeah, I mean you said it before, Pod. I think when healthy, this England's team's third best player.
I
I
agree.
think when healthy, he's Arsenal's best player. I think he's that good. Ballon d'Or candidate. Yeah, y'all forgetting, bro. Y'all forgetting.
Wait, when was he up for the Ballon d'Or?
2 years ago.
Okay. Okay. See, I didn't know that.
2 years
Um,
ago, bro.
dang.
Damn.
Yeah, he's what what's it called? So I think what would you rank if you had to give a quick ranking of the best players in the world, like give your top 10, who would they be?
Top 10 in no order. I think Lionel Messi is obviously still one of the best players in the world. He just happens to play in America, which is pretty
Yeah,
funny. So
he's just getting his checks and getting his stat pattern. He doesn't need to because Ronaldo's doing the same thing in the weak league, and then he came to the World Cup and did not show out. So
yeah, yeah. So off rip, Messi again. This is no order. Messi, Lamine, Mbappe, Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Vinny. I feel like I'm forgetting other people. I feel like I'm forgetting like crazy people now.
would you
Um,
would you
oh,
put
Elise.
Elise in
I bet Elise
there?
is
Yeah.
the top 10 player in the world.
Would you say
Um,
Dembele?
Dembele's top 10 player in the world. Rodri's the top 10 player in the world. Um, who else? Who's my last player?
Oh, Holland.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, that's the 10. Honestly, I think honestly that's and also I think there's actually a bona fide top 10. Rodri was arguably the best player for Spain this entire tournament. So,
I'd say he
and
was probably.
he has a Ballon d'Or. Might be the worst Ballon d'Or ever. Sure, he has it.
Vinicius should have won that Ballon d'Or, bro.
Right,
I don't
right,
care.
right. But who has every award in soccer now?
Nah, respect to him, bro. Like he definitely is and he's cool too. Like if I was a soccer player, I would go by a nickname and then have my first name on the back of my jersey. That's hard. I do think that's cool. But Vinicius won Champions League that year,
Yep.
was the best player on that team on Real Madrid, and they won the Euros. So like he kind of got that buff from winning the Euros, which is why I'd be happy if Lamine won the Ballon d'Or
You can
because
give him that
he would be the
conversation.
youngest ever. So something that would still be history regardless. But I don't want like them winning a major trophy to be the buff when there's somebody who had like a really good season as well. Like you could still argue Dembele could win the Ballon d'Or this year. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, I think honestly going into the World Cup, I think he was the favorite. I think obviously back to back Champions Leagues, they won the French league as well. Like
Mhm.
they just and he is PSG's best player. I think he was a favorite, but the way that like obviously Mbappe outplayed him, Olise outplayed him, um,
But he still has
and
6 goals. Like that
yeah,
has to
he still
mean
had 6 goals. Don't get me wrong, like it's not like he didn't play well, but um, other guys in this like on his team in contention for a Ballon d'Or outplayed him as well as France wasn't even able to get to the final. So I think obviously Dembele will be like he'll be a candidate. You know what I'm saying? But I think it seems as if that the last two candidates right now, the two guys that are gonna be talked about up until October, I think, when the Ballon d'Or is revealed, is Yamal and Kane. Harry Kane, one of the best goal scorers this year. They won obviously Bayern Munich, won Bundesliga. He didn't win Bundesliga Player of the Year. At least they won that actually.
Wow.
Um,
He had 36 goals this year.
yeah, but Elise had a crazy amount of assists. Elise is like really good. Had a really good
And
year.
I'm a fan. I love Olise. Like he's a good player, very good player. I think he's gonna be good for a long time.
Yeah,
But I don't know. 36 goals, and that's not including Champions League. That's kind of ridiculous, bro.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. But he didn't win Bundesliga player. Um, but he's had an incredible year. I don't know if he's England's best player. I think you can argue that Jude is better, low key. But had an incredible year, and they got third place. You know what I'm saying? So incredible year by them. Awesome. He also played well in the World Cup. But again, Lamine Yamal, I think will win. Just narrative wise, I think he has a better narrative. He will be the youngest. And also, just side note, for the rest of sports, till I become old, I'm rooting for the young guys, bro. I'm rooting for Wemby. I'm rooting for Lamine. Win everything now. I don't. We're not waiting for our turn, bro. We young and turn today. So Lamine obviously was second in voting last year. Back to back La Liga champion. Um, uh, Scored in the World Cup. Didn't play the greatest. But his team won the cup. Barcelona won La Liga. Was their best player. Was very impactful. Although he didn't put up the assists and goals, was very impactful for the Spain win. I think because football, just the community, they want Lamine to be what he's supposed to be.
Yeah, for
And
sure,
when you want that, you make some calls, okay? Like you make some calls.
for
It's simple
sure.
as that.
And I do think though Mbappe was better at that age than Lamine. Right? At least he had a better
Yeah, yeah,
World
yeah,
Cup.
yeah,
And that's where we gotta be like Mbappe. And Lamine won the World Cup. He did. Mbappe though, his World Cup, he had 4 goals, three or one in the final,
he was moving
two against
crazy.
Argentina.
He was moving crazy. I can't lie to you. But right now, literally right now, Lamine's 19, Mbappe's 27. Guess who's more accomplished in their careers?
It's Lamine, which
That's
is
crazy.
true.
That's
That
crazy.
is very
He's only been
crazy.
playing pro soccer for 4 years.
That part I have to give it to him because he's won everything. He's won La
Except the
Liga.
Champions League. Except the
Yeah,
Champions League. That's all
except
he
that.
had, bro.
But Mbappe hasn't done that either. Bro, he needs to win something, please. They need to win La Liga first, more than anything.
Yeah, yeah, they really do.
Too much talent on that team, bro.
Hopefully they get Olise.
That
Hopefully they
would
get
be
Olise.
fine. So,
I still
like,
don't know
he's
if
a
that would
free agent
work.
for sure.
Yeah, well, so like he can still be bought by Real Madrid. But if not, he'll just go back to Bayern. So, and they won Bundesliga. They were one of the best teams and champions. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Elise decides, okay, cool, I'm gonna just stay here. We won and stuff anyway. Um, we
Do
just
they
tied them in the
um
Bundesliga.
do they do like contracts?
Yeah, it's weird over there though. I don't know the exact way it works over in Europe, but it's contracts are larger, stipulations are weirder.
Um, we might have to just. I'm gonna definitely be tapped in more this year, so we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna get. I think I have Peacock. I'm definitely gonna be watching the Prem for sure.
Watch Arsenal win the Premier again, man. Watch Arsenal go back to back, man. We coming for the Champions League this year too, man. Come on, bro.
They're not. They're not doing that. They're losing one.
Words, words, words. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just say stuff, you know.
They're losing one, bro. They're losing either the Champions League or the Prem. They're not winning both.
We come into the league. If Arteta learns to rest his best players, oh, it's so over. It's so wraps, bro. If we get a healthy season out of Declan, out of all our guys, out of Saka, it's so wraps, bro.
Bro, it is a long season. Y'all play like 58 games.
All we got to worry about is Man City. That's all we got to
I
worry
mean,
about.
yeah,
And don't get me wrong, that's an issue. That's a
in the
problem. They're a
Prem.
problem.
In the Prem, yeah. I don't think anybody else is that good. But I'm talking about Champions League. You think you're running through PSG?
Bro, we took PSG to pancakes.
You did. You did. Are you doing that again, though?
Yes.
Are you doing that?
Yes.
Are you beating Barcelona this year?
I
Are
don't know.
you
I don't
beating
know.
Real Madrid?
Yeah, we can beat Real Madrid, bro. I'm not. We beat them 2 years ago in Champions League.
Two
We went
years
into
ago.
their trap and took over their trap, bro. We keep underestimating the Arsenal, bro. Please, bro.
What about are y'all beating
Bayern
Bayern
Munich.
Munich?
I don't know, which is funny because one of my friends, Caleb, shout out Caleb, he's a Bayern Munich fan. He was talking so much shit, bro.
Because if they beat PSG, would they have played Arsenal? Bayern?
Yes, they would have played us. Which again, I think that, hey man, keep underestimating the Arsenal. We're here. We've arrived. The project is over. It's dominance now.
Dominance. Weren't y'all supposed to get Noah Rodgers, bro? What happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Or
We kind of
Chelsea?
fallen asleep at the wheel, but we still got the
Uh,
guys. We still got the guys. You know what I'm
we'll
saying?
see, bro. We'll see. Arsenal fans were too happy about that move, bro.
Kings of England. We still the kings of England. We still straight. You still have to go through us. That's the truth.
We'll see, bro. We'll see. I'm gonna be tapped in more this year. But what's it called? We're gonna move to Summer League now. I would say, as a Bulls fan, grew up in the city, up in Chicago. Caleb Wilson, biggest surprise to me of Summer League. And Loki has some of the best upside out of that draft class. Just because of his athleticism, and I had no idea he was gonna shoot like that, bro.
Mm.
He was really like making moves off the dribble, sizing people up. And even when he had a bad shooting game from him was 19 and 8 with 5 blocks. Like his free throw shooting has to get better. Like there were a lot of points left on the table, and he still averaged over 20 and almost 10 rebounds. Like that's he's the goods, bro. I'm happy. I'm happy my team finally has somebody we can really like go to war behind. Now, do I expect the Bulls to be good? No, I'm probably win like 30 games. But we have someone who's gonna give us good vibes for right now. That's not see. That's the difference between Caleb Williams on the Bears. Caleb Williams, that's an ascending guy. You could be like, that's our number one. Right now, Caleb Wilson though, that's strictly vibes. I know we're not winning anything. We're not winning a damn thing. But it's gonna
Yeah,
be fun though.
I agree with you though. I think Caleb Wilson was the biggest surprise. There are other players that I'm also surprised by that we'll obviously get to. But man, this guy's really good. I don't really. The only. I want to get like the negatives out the way. He averaged 5 turnovers in 4 games. That's an issue. You that
Handle
means
is
he's young.
not there.
I'm about to say he's young, and those things will develop over time. But like that is an issue. You gotta calm down, young man. But I didn't realize he could space the floor this well. I didn't realize that he like. They asked him about it too. Said like, when did you start shooting like this? I just didn't do it at North Carolina. I don't tell you. But like,
Yeah, bro. A travesty, an actual travesty that Hubert Davis, like, he had 19, he was 20 and 10 in North Carolina, not shooting the ball. Like, what do you think
yeah,
would have happened if he actually, like, and I get how college basketball works, the spacing is different, the offenses are way different. But if he had 7 threes in his first game. He had seven the entire season. You're telling me you couldn't get him once on the wing for like an ISO and say let him cook and really do that like once or twice a game. Now not everything he did was to the rim and like 20 feet and in. That's disrespectful by
Yeah.
Hubert Davis and a travesty that he did that. If he was shooting like he did in the summer league, he would have gone top three.
Yeah, yeah. I think actually, wait, we'll get to Cam Boozer. We'll get to him, but I'm impressed. I can't lie to you. I'm impressed.
No, he played very well.
Um,
The top four is stamped. All of them, I think, are gonna
yeah,
have very long careers. Those who all four are future all stars to me. Like, I don't really see it.
yeah,
I do think I would take Caleb, and I said this before the Bull he became a Bull, but like I think Caleb was the upside of Caleb is better than Cam Boozer, just because
yeah.
not like it's not like an Anthony Richardson type deal where you got to really pause, get it out of him. But as far as like, I think I think Cam Boozer like already he's gonna be like a 17-9 type of guy. Like he could do that this coming year.
Yeah,
But how much better is he gonna
yeah,
be after that? Caleb Wilson, again, he was 20-10 last year, and he shot maybe two threes a game, if that. Only at seven. So if you
yeah,
actually incorporate a shot and really like, and the motor that he has on defense, like that's why I see him as like a player that can really go very high, like over the course of his career.
yeah. And I think it's just so crazy to a guy that virtually shot no threes his entire college career goes from that to shooting 42% off of eight threes in 4 games. That's crazy. You're averaging eight threes a game, shooting over 40%. That is such a crazy clip. Like, I'm really impressed by him. And you're right. His defensive intensity is there. Again, that's the one thing that, like, again, and I still, even in Summer League, I still want to see more from AJ on that front. And we'll get to
Uh,
AJ. But, like, I still want to see more from AJ from that front. Honestly, I think, well, we'll talk about other guys, but like, yeah, Caleb looks extremely talented, extremely talented. I think Chicago has a guy in them where it's like, wait, like, obviously, Darryn and AJ are looked at like as franchise guys, that you can build around and that like can either or can grow into generational talents. I think Caleb is shown that he can be that. You know what I'm saying? He can damn sure be that and be in that conversation. So I think he is the biggest surprise. I don't think anybody expected him to be this good of a shooter. I don't think anybody expected him to space the floor this well. I think people expected the defensive intensity, but the scoring clip is there. He can score next to literally the other two guys, that the top two draft picks. Only issues right now. The handle isn't there, and he can be turnover prone. Outside of that, though, he looks like he is gonna be a fantastic player, an all star, like you said.
yeah, I think that's definitely somebody we're gonna have to just watch over the next couple of years and just see how he grows.
Yep.
Um, how his game gets better. Because I think Tiago Splitter is a good coach and good enough
Hmm.
coach to where he could get him better as well. Like you saw what he did with Portland. I mean, Denny Avio was not an all-star until this year.
Yep.
And he was a lottery pick. So he was supposed to be that in Washington. But then when he got with Tiago Splitter, even Scoot Henderson was better. So like I think also the Bulls hiring him, that would make it even better. I want to see more from Dalen Swain, but that's just me being a Bulls fan. I wish we got a Baron Fala, but because he also hooped. He hooped this summer league too. But
Hmm.
I'll take it. We have one good star on my team, and I'll take it because the last time we had the fourth pick, we drafted Patrick Williams, so we know how that went.
You know what I'm saying? I think the next guy I want to go like that surprised me. I think after like was Cam. I didn't go. I came into like the draft and I was like I'm not really overly impressed by Cam as a player, and everyone said like his floor, like what is so cool, what's so good about him is that his floor is so consistent, and I was like cool, but like what else? You know what I'm saying? But I will say they're right. His floor is there. This is a guy
Yeah.
that you said can come in the league and average 17, 8, and 5. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. I think what impressed me honestly is his playmaking. To have a guy like that this young who can be really versatile as a player, who can put the ball on the floor, who can also playmake or be a secondary playmaker on a team is really, really cool. Um, I think playmaking bigs are really important and an overlooked aspect of the game. Obviously, like Jokic just talked about, but like again, as a Scotty Barnes fan and me, like I think that's what Scotty Barnes' X factor is. I think that's what makes him one of the best players in the league, and I think that's what's going to make him one of the best players in the league going forward. Um, so to see him have that trait in summer league was really really cool. I really am like I understand it now. You know what I'm saying? I understand what I'm looking at with Cam Boozer. This guy's floor. This guy can be an all star. This guy can be the second or third option on a championship team. Now we don't know how great he'll be, but we know that this will at least be the worst he will be. And that's pretty comforting if I'm no the Grizzlies.
Yeah, for sure. They're going to be sad though this year. They're going to be very bad.
Yeah, yeah,
But I think that's very serviceable. I just wonder, can he be your number one guy in the future? Like he has to be in this situation because who else is there gonna they're gonna be?
yeah.
But is he gonna get better to the point where you're like, he's 25 and 10 and this is our number one guy? That I'm not worried about per se. I just want to see if he can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he will be an interesting case, but he's gonna have a long career because you saw like his dad is Carlos Boozer, of course. So
Yep.
like the role players, the sons of role players always come out the most polished just
Mm-hmm.
because they're teaching their kids how to stay on an NBA roster. Your game needs to be well rounded. It's the kids of stars like LeBron, for instance, who have the freak athleticism, and then they can't teach their kids the game the same way just because their kid most likely can't play like that. Same thing
Yeah.
with Shaq. His kids were not as big as him. So like their game isn't as well rounded. Dylan Harper, his dad was a role player. So those guys like that's why they say I think their floor is so high just because they're gonna find a way to stay in the NBA for a long time. They're gonna get contracts for
Right.
sure.
Right.
And so I think he's definitely gonna be a good player. I'm not worried about that. I just want to see what the peak is.
Yeah, yeah, and you're right. I think obviously, fathers of like role players, or fathers that are role players, give their kid like a much more stable foundation that they can build off of. I think obviously everyone talked about the main thing. Obviously, the flash and everything about Dylan Harper is fantastic, but the main thing is that oh my God, look at like he looks like a 10-year veteran, and and this is his first year in the league. That's because of the foundation that Ron Harper gave him, and he was able to build off of that and be like, okay, cool. I have this maturity, but also I can be this team's best scorer when needed to. I don't make mistakes that other rookies do. Hell, that you know, guys like Wemby make mistakes like that sometimes. But
Could have won him a
yeah,
fight
it happens. But I think we can talk about the top two picks in the draft now.
for sure, for sure. I was about to segue to that anyway.
Awesome.
But I think I'll start off with Darren Peterson.
Yep.
That's a future all-star. Like I'm pretty comfortable in saying that as well. Like he's he doesn't care about like how difficult the shot is. He's like you can see in his game, like I work on that. He's gonna get to his spot and regardless if there's a hand in his face or not, like he's gonna take it. And most of the time he's gonna make it too. I think he plays a lot like Devin Booker to me.
Mm,
I like I that count that people say, I like that. I can't lie. I think Darren Peterson is gonna be a very, very good player. Now I wanna see how he should get the ball a lot in Utah, but I know they still have Laurie Marketing. Keontae George had over 20 points last year, 20 points a game. So I want to see just how they're gonna spread the ball around and still be like efficient. Because talent wise, they should at least be a play-in team.
hmm
You would think if you look at their team, but you still have a lot of young players who are fighting for roster spots or just trying to get their shit off. Like Ace Bailey got drafted, and it seems like nobody really cares about him. And I don't think his rookie year wasn't necessarily bad, especially at the end. And same thing
Yeah.
with even Keontae George. This is going to be, I think, year three because he was in my high school class. I'm pretty sure, maybe year four, but he hasn't been in the league that long. So it's like, how are you gonna like spread the ball around and get it so Darryn can really maximize what he's doing? And Laurie Marketing is obviously a former All-Star, so you got to defer to him in some sort of way. So I would say I'm not really worried about Darryn Peterson. It doesn't look like he's cramping or anything like that, and I'm excited. I think you could definitely either way. If Washington took Peterson or AJ, I don't think that that's not neither would have been a bad pick in my opinion, and they're showing us such.
Yeah, I think Darren is great. I don't really have like crazy much to add. I think he is. I think you're right. He's gonna be a future All Star. I think the Devin Booker comparison is interesting because I think he's a extremely talented scorer, Darren Peterson. However, this guy really doesn't see a shot on the court he doesn't like. I think what was so funny about the Wizards and Jazz game where Darren Peterson and they got to face off against each other is you could see that like there's that quote from Jordan when he's talking about Kobe before the All Star game in the '90s, and he's like,
I
"Oh
know what
yeah,
you're talking
I about to say he don't let the game come to him. He try and take the game. Main word try. Like Darren Peterson he was really really trying, and that can be a detriment to your team sometimes. Obviously, these are things that you are a young player and you can work these things out. These things are obvious. That is true. But it can get bad. It can get bad. It can get pretty bad when he really gets tunnel vision as a player. The thing is though, that's the thing. He is a talented. He is a pretty good passer. Like I think that's something that's been overrated during this entire process. Is that the issue, the thoughts about, oh yeah, is De'Aaron, because didn't have a lot of assists in high school and sorry in college. Can De'Aaron Peterson, can he be like facilitate offense, right? Can he run an offense? Can he, create for other guys? He can when he doesn't have tunnel vision. Like when he like when he's not focused on like I have to get mine right now. He can create for other guys. You know what I'm saying? So
about. Yeah,
it's super interesting, and also 5 turnovers per game. That's an issue. And the thing is, I can't even say he has a bad handle. I think part of it again is just tunnel vision. I will say defensively, he's showing me exactly what I want to see from him. He's a pretty good defender. Um, and I think we don't have a lot of
right.
guys.
You
Hmm?
have to say when he tries though,
When he
because
tries.
once he starts scoring, like if he becomes a number one, I'm not expecting him to play that type of defense.
Yeah, yeah. I will say we don't have a lot of guards in the league that point guards specifically that match both their offensive and defensive intensity. So I see the possibility for that. Will that come to fruition? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But it's nice to think about. It's nice to think that one of these guys that, you know, are drafted will maybe one day be like, an early Chris Paul, one of the best offensive players and also one of the best perimeter defenders in basketball. We haven't had one of those in a while, but I can dream, you know? Um,
Caleb Wilson.
Caleb, well, maybe, man, maybe. um, all that being said, though, Darren's great. He's gonna be a future All Star. If that cramping shit didn't happen, he would have went number one.
I
He,
agree.
he's a better scorer, than AJ. AJ's selling point is his frame, is that he is built like an NBA player. So, yeah, think De'Aaron's great. I think the Jazz have their guy. I'm sorry, Ace. You know, you know what I'm saying. You're probably not the guy, but you can still be a guy on this team. You can still matter. De'Aaron though, it's De'Aaron's team. De'Aaron is going to have ample opportunity to kill on the Jazz because it's the Jazz. And we'll see. I think this will be a very cool player. I like De'Aaron a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Going into, and you were right though about him just trying to get up any type of shot that he wants. He uh, he shot 30, well, basically 40% from the field and
Yeah,
35 rounding from three. So like
yeah,
he's still efficiency is not everything, but that can be something that people, if you were being nitpicky on, you could say that. But 23 points, 5 assists, 3 boards, and across 5 games, that's very good. So, and he had a game of 25 and 12. I'm not
yeah,
mad at that at all. I think he'll be a very good player. Now, going into the number one pick, AJ Dybantsa, he had 25 and 7 rebounds. That's nice. And kind of the same thing. Well, not the same thing. He shot 39% from the field, which, like Darryn, it was about the same.
yeah,
But 9% from three, only 1 of 11 from three. And he actually had a decent 3-point shot in college. So I'm actually surprised to see that. But still, he has the body to get to
I
the
think we
white.
disagree on that point.
His shot was okay.
But
It wasn't great. I would never say it was great. But because because of like how he can use his body and how he
yeah,
already like an NBA player manipulates the game to get fouls, I don't see how he'll still be a around him too. It depends on how they spread the ball around on the Wizards as well. Trey Young, I feel like Trey Young as a passer can get him at least 7 to 10 points a game just by finding him because Trey Young is a career 25 and 10. So I
yeah,
don't see that going down with him and Anthony Davis. But AD is gonna want his touches. Pretty sure this is a contract year anyway. So he's gonna want the ball. And I think he could be around 20 points a game though. Like he has the talent to do so. It's just more of a matter of system and how they really run, just how the team runs.
yeah.
But still a very good player. His shot definitely has to get better because I did not know he was 1 for 11. That's wicked. Excuse me, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I think AJ looked cool. Like I think my main frustration is that not I watch AJ and I get it. I get the selling point. I get why he is touted as what he is supposed to be. I get it. I get it. But also, I just haven't nothing's jumped out at me. He does have the frame. He does have the prototypical body, and you're right. He's using it as an NBA player would, and these things are great. But so far, man, nothing's really jumped out at me. I think yeah, he's a bad 3 point shooter. He's bad. He is a bad 3 point shooter. And this is something that he can grow out of. You know what I'm saying? For example, I expect Cooper Flagg's 3 point shot to get better, right? But just to call it out as it is, he is currently a bad 3 point shooter. Um, he takes them, which I respect. Hey man, we live in an NBA world of spacing. You have to make your defender respect you from three. That is the best way to space the floor for yourself and for your team. So I'm glad that he takes them. And I encourage him to keep taking them. However, you gotta work on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? 3 point shot is not looking great, bro. You know what I'm saying? Defensive intensity, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, really. I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I'm not gonna say that he's a bad defender. That's just not what I'm going to utter. Um, but I'm so far not as impressed as I feel as if I should be. I will say, 2.5 blocks, 2.5 steals and 1.5 block is pretty good stats. But the on ball pressure, I don't see. Um, yeah, free
It
throw
could be
percentage,
better.
it could be better. Free throw percentage, good. Like he, I feel like it sounds like I'm low key hating. I'm not. He is a good player. He is going to be. I will not be surprised if he wins Rookie of the Year. I will not be surprised if he wins if he is an All Star. I will not be surprised if he becomes the franchise guy for this New York, not New York, what Washington team. None of those things will surprise me. But that's kind of my thing. I am not surprised or impressed by nothing's jumped out at me yet. He has the body, he has the frame, he knows how to use his body. He can play great defense. He can. He can
He's just
get
not gonna
downhill.
try.
Yeah, he can get downhill. He can score. He can do X, Y, and Z. And honestly, low key, the whole like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take possessions off on defense thing is like kind of stupid in my opinion. The reason why is because you want to stay in the league. You know what? Two things you do to stay in the league:
Shoot and play defense.
hit your threes and play defense, bro. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to
That's
do.
true. But you gotta think, the guys who are in that role are the ones who have to do that. The
Yeah.
ones who need to score, you're getting the ball all the time. Like the guys who are really good at that most of the time are not the ones taking or who have the green light to take up to 20 shots a game. AJ Dybantsa does. So I just am expecting him not to do that. He can because defense is just a matter of effort. He has the
Yeah.
size, definitely the body and size to play good defense. I'm not expecting that out of him because he hasn't shown me that. But I know that he can get you 35 or 25 shots. I watched him do that. He's gonna find a way to get to the line. He can. I would say part of why you say nothing pops off per se is just because there are many players who kind of have a similar like
Yeah. Archetype.
archetype to him, like a big fast dude who can run and dunk. And now he has more than that because I think his mid range is good. Like he's gonna get
Yeah,
to
I
his
agree.
spot.
I agree.
And so I think that's really what it is. If he could, like, if let's say he was a better passer and not just mainly a score first guy, or he was really good on defense, I think it would set him apart more. But because like there's so much to his game that still technically isn't well rounded, you could say, okay, he's getting 25 a game in college. You could make that with a bad 3-pointer, like you say, because he was 33 on four shots, so not great.
Yeah.
But that means that there's still a lot left that you can still like build on. And then also kind of what we said about Cam Boozer. The floor is still very high.
Yeah, I agree. Floor is still very high. Floor is still very high, and the mid range shot, you're right. When he gets to his mid range spot, is green. So AJ, he looks like what he was supposed to be. You
Yeah.
know, looks like what he's supposed to be. So shout out to bro.
We talked about those, the first four. I think Keaton Wagler, he had a good second game. He had like 18 in the third or fourth quarter. One of those games. I think he'll be better. I don't think summer league is for him. Summer league is a lot of ISO play and not really running an offense. I think Keaton Wagler will actually be good with a guard like Darius Acuff, not Darius Acuff, Darius Garland, and he and his numbers in the summer league he had 19 points, 2.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists. That's definitely not bad.
Mhm.
So I'll take that from him. Uh,
Yeah.
could be better, but I think he's going to be a good piece on the team, like a good role player. Are we spending number five picks on role players? Necessarily no, but he'll be all right, I think.
We'll say, I agree with you, but we'll say Shab Malik Thomas, someone who kind of obviously had a lot of hype coming out of high school, um, but kind of got lost into like I guess but like lost in the noise, but had a great summer league. He averaged 27 points per game, 27 points, 50% from the field, 44% from three off the 8 attempts, and 3 rebounds, 4 assists, only 2 turnovers, but 2 steals. Pretty good stats coming out from bro. In 4 games, he almost played all summer league, so it's a pretty decent sample size. Um, Excited to see whether he can maximize this on obviously a Cleveland Cavaliers team that has scorers, playmakers. Maybe he can be a really solid guy coming off the bench, or maybe even a 6 man. Um, but play great, put up some great numbers.
I think what's gonna be sad about him though, he's not doing any of what he's doing in the summer league when he actually gets to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell is gonna tell you to pass that rock immediately, actually, 100%. And same thing with James Harden. I don't even think he'll play, but I don't think he's definitely not gonna have the opportunities that he did in summer league. So he like
Yeah, he's
he
not.
had to kill right there and be like, I'm really, really that. Plus, he went second round after being hyped, like you said, out of high school. So I know he felt some type of way about that. And just because, I mean, he had Darius Acuff on his team. That's a very ball dominant player.
Yeah,
And so he was getting Darius Acuff was getting well over 20 points and 5 or 6, maybe even 7 assists a game in college. So it's like
yeah,
it's kind of tough to play with a player like that because he always has a ball in his hands. And a guy like Cal, a coach like that, he's gonna let you rock if you're that good. And just some of the shots he was making in college, I understand it. It's unfair, but that's just how the game goes sometimes, sadly.
yeah.
Yeah, he
It's a
had
great segue.
23 and a half, 6 assists. Yeah, you're not touching the rock unless he's passing it to you.
That is a great segue. Let's talk about Darius Acuff. Another guy who doesn't really see a shot that he doesn't like. Man, and you said it like earlier in another pod. Hey man, 30 is 30, and I understand. I agree, 30 is 30. However, efficient 30s matter a little bit more.
Nah, he
um,
definitely had some wild games. I can't lie. He was shooting the hell out the ball.
and the thing is, like, I think I think low key his playmaking is really solid. I think one day he can maybe like develop into being a really solid offensive engine on a team. A guy who can be your best playmaker and also can provide you like a really great points as well. I do worry something that people talked about at length of pre-draft. This guy is a cone.
Yeah, he
This guy's
is.
a cone. Really not a lot to say outside of that. He's a cone. Yeah, he's not the greatest defender at all. Yeah,
But he had 9 for 29 in that first game. That's wicked.
30's 30. That's what you told me. That's what you told me.
30 is 30. I'm gonna be like 30 is 30. Cause like if I'm in his shoes, 9 for 29 is that bad? Yes. We can watch the film and get better. But nigga, at 30 and I took that many shots, that means you guys either didn't want to shoot or it doesn't matter. I got 30. Like it's not always gonna be the best to help out the team,
Yeah,
but I got 30. It's kind of like Bam's 83.
they
Bam's
won the
83.
game.
Hmm?
They won the game.
Bam, they did. However, Bam shot almost 40. Well, he made almost 40 free throws. He shot more than 40.
Yeah,
So, hey man, I had 83. You can't tell me nothing. It was very unethical, but 83 is 83. And that's how I look at it as like a player, like as someone who played basketball. Obviously, as an analyst or something like that, you got to be like, okay, yeah, 9 for 29, that sucks. Like that's not great at all. You definitely need to calm down and swing the rock. But as a player, at the end of the day, it said 30 by my name.
boo. We have respect for Bam's 83 over here. You know what I'm saying? We understand it as the historical mark that it is. Wilt, Bam, Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Um,
respect to Bam. It's not better than Kobe's though. Only says
Words,
that by
words, words.
that one point
You know why it is better than Kobe's?
because he
Because
had
it's an huh?
because he had more points.
No, because and don't worry, I'm not. Don't worry, I'm not gonna go the other route. No, no, not going there. But nah, because it really shows that like when guys like Luca, Shea, Ant, any of them guys are like, yeah, I can get 100 in the game. They are right. Bam
That is
Adebayo has a career average of like 18 points. Luca's is 27.
that is true. That's fair. I do think now that makes it so like you can definitely say anybody in their prime, like any superstar, if they said, okay, I'm going for 100 today, they could really do it. Against a bad team for sure.
Yeah, bro.
Because
Against the
everybody
Wizards,
on that
still.
everybody on that Wizards team that played that really got minutes that day, only I think two of them were only older than us. Everybody else was born in like '06 and '07. It was actually ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. We got respect for Bam's 83 over here.
I have respect, but they were that end just got nasty. They were like, we're gonna foul him. Now, if I'm Bam, you can't tell me shit.
I'm going. I'm
Yeah,
going. I want the 83.
for sure,
Will,
for sure.
Bam, Kobe. That's what I want, bro.
Respect the Bam, man. Still not better than Kobe though. R.I.P. Kobe.
Shout out, bro. I guess.
Is there anybody else you want to talk about? In the summer league, shout out to Yaxel. I will say that really quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Actually, did pretty good.
he won the summer league MVP.
Yeah, he
The
played really
Warriors,
well.
I mean, they're winning the chip doesn't mean anything in summer league, obviously, but I think that's a very good pick that they had, and I think he'll definitely be of good service in the pros for sure. 15, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He's a very complete player already because he's
Yeah,
24. So I like to think so. But definitely definitely a good pick for the Warriors. I wonder how they're actually going to use him when they have like Steph and Draymond in the game, but he'll have to play because everybody's hurt, really. Jimmy's
yeah,
hurt. Moses Moody's hurt. No more Kaminga, so he has to be able to contribute right away.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I think he's a lot of cool qualities around him. You're right. His game is defined because he's 24. But yeah, shout out to Burrow. He played pretty well. He's going to be a pretty great role player for this this iteration of the Warriors. It's interesting. I wonder how his career will play out, like low key long term. Obviously, we're near the end of the Curry era. We're near the end of the Draymond era. What and also Steve Kerr literally just decided this year, okay, I'm a coach again. What does he look like in a few years? I to be frank, I don't imagine him being on the Warriors for a very long time. I think that he will be not a journeyman, but a guy that a lot of contending teams would say we like him. We would like him on our team. Sam Presti at some point will make a call.
But he does not need to go to OKC.
Sam Presti makes calls, bro. He doesn't even like ask for trades. He just makes calls. Also, Sam Presti, good job. Finally traded Lou Dort. Good job. And what'd you do it
I
for?
called that. You called
Picks.
that here on the breakdown.
Yes. What'd you do it
Call
for?
me
Picks.
call the breakdown. Adam Schefter, we shines up here, man.
Yeah. Adam Schefter comes to the pod.
Bro. Hey, we had a pro athlete on last week, bro. The ceiling, it could be
Y'all should
anybody, bro.
price now. But yeah. W Summer League.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the young boys of the summer league. It's crazy because we're all older than them. So actually, like, as a former athlete, it kind of makes you sad just a little bit. But
Yeah.
well, except Jackson, old ass. But
Yeah. Yeah.
shout out to them, bro. I'm excited for the Bulls. I can actually watch a Bulls game, like, and be like, all right, I'm gonna actually be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, because I watch the last probably 3 years. I would know live, like instead of just watching the highlights. I definitely watch more Lakers games than Bulls games. It's actually bad. But Caleb and Montage, bro, that's gonna be good hoops. And we got Norman Powell. We gonna get some buckets. Just no defense.
Sometimes
Besides
that
Nick Claxton. On paper, it's not a bad team. Like, it's not horrible. It's mid, but like, I'm not expecting anything.
y'all been mid for a while. That's the issue, you know.
Yeah,
But maybe with Caleb, we can grow into something beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Not we, Houston Rockets fan.
I
Y'all can
think,
grow
yeah, I think like at the best, like at their peak, they could get to like a 10 seed and go to the play-in. Like, that's really it.
this
And
year.
possibly, I'd have to see how they go,
Okay.
but I'm saying at their peak, like, I don't see them like, oh, they're top six and they have a solidified playoff spot or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I
But
hear you.
because I think the East got better. It got definitely, there's more parity in the East. So this year will actually be really good. Like the year of the parity era, like you said, I'd say is probably at its peak right now, just because you got to think the West is still better, but it's not completely one-sided as much anymore. Like you got
I
to
don't know if
think
the
the
West is
Pistons
better.
was, hmm?
I don't know if the West is better.
I would say so. Just if you go from team for team, like maybe at the top, like there's one,
I would
because
say the West is top heavy.
yeah, you could say that, but again, like I think a lot of those teams in the West are still getting those teams in the East out of there. Like
Mm.
still, I think a healthy OKC. is beating whoever, is beating anybody. I think the Spurs is beating almost anybody except for the Knicks, apparently. And we thought on paper they were going to beat the Knicks. Who was the three seed? Was the Lakers the three? No, they weren't.
Now
Three
it's
seed
Denver, who has gotten worse.
Denver. I don't know about that. So has Minnesota. And so has the Lakers. Okay, you made a valid point.
I think the West has just had like more star power, but when it comes to complete teams, yeah, I think the East has more of those.
I would say if you're going off of last year, like this past year, no. But in this coming year, I do agree with you because now that I'm like looking at it on paper, like what's it called? No more LeBron on the Lakers. It's just Luca, a bunch of other white boys, and Austin Reeves, who are raw,
Yep.
but I don't think they'll be as good. Same thing with Denver. Denver, they might win a lot of games in the regular season, but hasn't led to anything really of note since their last championship. Then Minnesota's gotten the conference finals. I think Minnesota, before they traded, who they trade for LaMelo? Before they traded Nas Reed, mm, I think that they had a very like they could beat a lot of teams in the East as well. Like I think if Minnesota, let's say Minnesota of last year was in the Eastern Conference, they would have they would be a three seed, three
Probably
or
something like
four.
that. I agree with that.
So you know what I'm saying? Like I think it's just that part I agree with. But I think the Eastern Conference this year, Miami, the Pistons won 60 games last year. The Cavs will still be good. It's just like we know who they are. Like they're not gonna do anything in the end. Boston, the Sixers. If the Kawhi trade goes through, the Raptors, even
Hmm.
without it, they were still good last year. Um, am I missing somebody? I think the Pacers will be better, at least a playing team, because Tyrese will be back.
Yeah.
I'm missing somebody, I feel like. Orlando, they still brought the Pistons to 7 games. Should have really won that series. Atlanta beat the Hawks. I mean, Atlanta beat the Knicks twice, which nobody else did. So I think yeah, the East is pretty solid for sure.
Yeah. I will say a few of those teams you named definitely got worse. Detroit got worse. Celtics got worse. Charlotte got worse. Um, I will say though,
Probably go worse. I'm not expecting anything out of Charlotte.
Miami got better. You know.
I think
Um,
I think the Celtics would be okay just because Missoula is a very good coach. And
he
kind of
is.
like we thought the same thing last year with Jalen Brown when Jason Tatum was hurt. We
Mhm.
thought he wasn't going to really do anything, and they ended up winning 50 games. So I trust Missoula, and those two guys are still top 10 players in the league to me. So it's like they'll figure it out. If Jalen Brown can figure it out, I
Okay.
definitely think Jason Tatum could help.
Okay. I thought
That
you
just
said
depends on
I thought you
how he
said
comes
top
back.
two. All right, I thought you said those two guys. I thought you meant Paul George and Jason Tatum. I was about to say,
Oh,
wait.
hell no, hell no, hell no. But that's not a bad role player to have. But that's what I'm saying. Jalen Brown didn't have a Paul George with him. Like,
Yeah, he
are you
did.
taking Derek White over Paul George?
Today, low key, I am.
I
Low key, I am.
last season, Paul George had a better season than Derek White.
Okay, I
Now,
hear that.
the finals Derek White from 2024, I'll take him. But I wasn't the same player this past year. So
I'll never forget the Derek White should be in All Star talks. I was like, wait.
I was never one of those people.
We're losing our minds. We're losing our minds.
I was never ever one of those people. Shout out to Derek White, but
Yeah, cool guy.
not a fan. You're Celtics merchant. I don't have anything else to say. Do you?
Nah, man. Nah, man.
This will be a two-parter, but we appreciate you guys tuning into the breakdown. Like I said before, I'm Austin Johnson,
And I'm Drew Covington.
and we'll see you on the next one.